Hey guys, and welcome back to Mega Man X4. I was going to go into a diatribe about the gameplay and such, but I guess we'll start things off all anime style today.
Yeah, the one thing, like I said, everybody remembers about this game are the anime cutscenes. Again, using the CD space of whichever console you happen to be playing on at the time. And, they are not good. This is the 90s, so the animation isn't bad. I don't know how they sound in, like, the original Japanese, but the dub is notoriously awful, as I've mentioned. The sound mixing as well is also pretty terrible. Like, sometimes you just cannot straight up hear what these characters are saying. I'll point out some instances later on when that happens, though.
Well, we'll be talking over it, so will people be even able to tell?
Of something like that. Well, I guess they'll just have to go watch the uncommented version of this game over on Hellfire Playthroughs. Wink, wink.
Wink. Yay! What are we fighting for? Who knows?
So, you know, the basic storyline, Repliforce. Oh, we are an independent military organization. We just want to create our own world, our own nation, and live peacefully. After all, we are the Repliforce, as Colonel says, the most powerful military in the world. So maybe I'm a little confused as to why the Maverick Hunters immediately decide that these guys are threats to world peace.
Well, you know, status quo and all that jazz.
That's what kind of ties into the main conflict with Mega Man X. Just a brief aside though, Iris is sort of going to be here as Zero's sort of little buddy, you know, on the side when he's like picking missions, and X will get his own. I want to mention as well though, this is not actually the first appearance of Iris chronologically. She actually spends time as a communications officer training with the Maverick Hunters in Mega Man Extreme 2, a game I have also played and, you know, enjoyed on the Game Boy Color. Didn't beat it because I was too stupid to figure out how to defeat the final boss, but there you go.
Wait, you say Extreme. Is there a difference between X and Extreme?
Well, Extreme has more letters, and I would imply that it's a lot more 90s when you play it on the Game Boy Color, which, let's be honest, was a very 90s kind of console.
I gotta look this shit up. I am intrigued.
It was basically Mega Man Extreme 1 and 2. It was basically sort of a remix of, like, existing Mega Man stages and bosses kind of shrunk down for the portable stuff, set within, like, a new basic kind of story. They're not bad games. Extreme 2 is fucking hard, by the way, but I managed to get through it because this was the time before I had internet and I got exceptionally lazy about most things.
Wow, it's known as Soul Eraser in Japan. That's metal.
Yeah, that's actually pretty great, and it ties into the main plot of that game where they have to basically get, like, Maverick souls and things like that, and they can use it to, like, buy upgrades and things like that.
Okay, these are the Maverick Hunters. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, this is the organization that Mega Man X and Zero works for. Basically, all Reploids, just kind of get some quick lore out of the way, all Reploids are based on X's original design, and a lot of them work for an organization called the Maverick Hunters, because it's very possible that a Reploid can become, you know, quote-unquote Maverick, where they are rebelling against their human creators, and they're terminated, basically. And it kind of calls back into some kind of paranoid propaganda sort of lore, where being labeled as a Maverick is like a very quick judgment call. Like, there's no real codified way. Sometimes it's because they legitimately have like a virus in their system that makes them rebel, but it's also used as a term to basically go, oh, you're not adhering to the status quo, you must be a Maverick. And it plays hugely in this game, where the Repliforce are actually not Mavericks in the traditional sense. Many of them are just merely doing what they're doing out of a need to feel like, you know, again, to create their independent nation of Reploids. And as a result, they're getting terminated for their actions that they take in this game. And it really becomes a morally gray kind of crowd when you consider that these people are otherwise innocent. They're just getting killed because of what they believe in.
Oh, yeah, that's politics for you, I guess. Be they human or be they robot, it's always the same bloody thing. Now, I would usually be giving you, like, level trivia and such, but again, my X experience ends and begins even with Mega Man X1, so I'm just going to say enjoy the nice ice level, look at all the pretty little snow effects. Have you gotten this far in the game? Because I know you said you didn't finish it.
Well, when I was going through the second time, I got through a lot of it as X's story, and then I just kind of stopped because other shit came up. But I have beaten this game before with both Mega Man X and Zero. As we go through this, I'll try to recall my ancient 20-year-old memories about this game, too. I can't say I'm going to be able to do it with a reasonable amount of success, but some things still stand out to me as of this time. This stage in particular, where if you're looking in the background, actually right here, you can see Chill Penguin from Mega Man X1 preserved in that ice.
Yeah, I remember him. He is the first boss. All the guides I read, suggested that I take on in Mega Man X1, because I believe you get the speed upgrade or something that allows you to dash.
Yeah, you get the dash boots, and that's actually, in terms of the plot, the only upgrade that Mega Man X ever keeps. Because the thing is about Mega Man X is that he's a pacifist. This is something they really flesh out in later games. He doesn't like to fight, he doesn't like to naturally terminate Mavericks and things like that, but he is constantly forced into situations where he has to fight. And this is actually a big plot point in Mega Man X7, where X just straight up quits the Maverick Hunters, and you can pick Zero, or for a lot of the game, you're picking a new guy called Axel, who is like some dual gun wielding motherfucker who can like change his body into resemble different Mavericks and other enemies and things like that. And only after you complete enough objectives can you play as Mega Man X again. Now, I can't tell you a lot about Mega Man X7. I have not played that game. But the consensus is that it's genuinely fucking terrible.
Is that the one with the 3D sections? Because I think the Game Grumps played that at one point, and needless to say, they never got around to finishing it.
Yeah, that's the one with the 3D sections. A lot of Mega Man fans I have found in the community kind of insist on Mega Man being two-dimensional, because that's kind of where its roots lie and things like that. I never really agreed with that, because one of the biggest weaknesses about the Mega Man X series, and Mega Man in general, is that it never really tried to finalize that full jump to 3D. Like, it tried in Mega Man X7. It didn't do it that well, but it tried. And it also tried in other previous games, like the Mega Man Legend series, you know, Misadventures of Tron-Bonne, that kind of thing.
Yeah, Snake also recorded that for us earlier this year.
Oh, there you go. So, hey, it all ties together. But it's because of that Mega Man has had this reputation of a series that pumps out a ton of games, but rarely seems to innovate with them. I know in the PlayStation era, X4 it definitely innovated in a lot of ways, and I definitely think for the better, but 5 and 6 just have such a bad reputation that when you get to 7 and then you have to deal with like the 3D segments that are also notoriously terrible, it's easy to see why Mega Man XA did not do as well as Capcom thought it would.
Okay, it's time to take on our first Maverick Hunter, Frost Walrus. This big sucker's coming down in roughly about now. There he is. Jesus, that is one hell of a sprite.
I love the art design in this game with like all the Maverick designs. Like, there isn't one I really hate. I guess Split Mushroom isn't exactly one of my favorites, but I love how they're pushing, they're pushing it. I say this in quotes, considering this is the PlayStation, they're still doing like two-dimensional kind of graphics. But there's a lot of stuff going on in like the background in terms of the animations for these guys, and the sheer size of Frost Walrus in particular is really good to look at.
Okay, this sucker is known as the Roughneck of the North Pole, which is pretty based. I'm going to read his profile here. Bad-tempered and rowdy, his destructive behaviour got him marked for disposal as a maverick, but he avoided this when General gave him a chance to join the Repliforce. When the Repliforce started their coup, spoilers I guess, Frost Walrus was pleased, as for him it was a perfect excuse to riot as much as he liked. His weakness, if you'll allow me to scroll down, is the Rising Fire, which I believe you get from Magma Dragoon, who will be taking on last. But as you can see here, Snake didn't really need that particular power-up.
It is kind of interesting that he decided to take on Frost Walrus first. I think the guy I usually fight first is Web Spider, which is a bad idea, because Frost Walrus is actually pretty easy. As we've seen, you can just take him out with the Charged Mega Buster. Web Spider is fucking annoying, and I'll tell you more about him when we get to that fight.
Speaking of annoying spiders, there's a spider boss, actually called Boss Spider, I think, in one of the Sigma stages in X1, which I died to. Thankfully, I did not have to refight Vile, which was actually kind of nice, but he's weak to Shotgun Ice, so there you go.
Okay, now here is Mega Man X's little funny sidekick for most of this game. It's a guy called Double, who kind of looks like he's a fat football player considering the helmet he has, you know?
Mm-hmm. Or, you know, special.
Well, he's special, but not exactly how you think he's special. No, he's special in a lot of other ways, which we'll find out later on.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, next up is Jet Stingray, and man, I really don't like Jet Stingray or his level. They're both pretty fucking awful in my opinion.
Oh my god, that fucking theme that plays when, like, they appear on screen and their, like, bio comes on gets me hyped every single time. I think that was the first piece of music I ever heard for X4. Then, like, the intro theme, then the rest of the soundtrack.
Yeah, Mega Man X4 really goes the extra mile in making you hype to take on the other bosses. I don't believe that's voiced in the Japanese version. I don't remember off the top of my head, so please do not quote me on this. But the main problem I have with Jet Stingray's stage is the fact that it's a fucking speeder section. And if you want to get the upgrade back there, as Snake did, you'll have to memorize it practically fucking verbatim. It's super easy to fall down into the pits and die and lose up all your lives. And then there's Jet Stingray himself, which we'll have to talk about too when we get there, obviously.
Well, that's funny, because I struggled with Launch Octopus when I was playing X1, so there's like, what, a really tricky marine creature kind of theme going on with the X series.
I seem to recall that actually a lot of the marine-themed Mavericks are pretty hard. I don't know, I'm trying to, again, pull this from my 20-year-old memories of the game, so please forgive me.
You'll notice that we're basically switching out to, you know, the other character roughly around the halfway mark. Snake kind of wanted to get, like, a balance of both characters, and, you know, it is a balancing act, so we appreciate that. What was I going to say? It's completely slipped my mind. Oh, right. Wasn't there, like in the classic Mega Man series, I'm talking about the NES games here, one level that had a sequence like this that was obviously much slower? I think it was either in Mega Man 5 or 6.
I think in 5 you had to do this when you were in Dive Man stage,
Yep.
and you got to... Yeah, but that was actually kind of cool looking. This, not so much. But as you can see, it's not too difficult to get to. No, the real problem here is our friend Jet Stingray. Jet Stingray is a pain in the ass. It's kind of hard to hit him with his weakness due to his attack angle and the way he attacks and things like that. And every single time, you'll hear this, when he dives down, he screams, "Yeah!" super fucking loud.
Okay, Jet Stingray, Aqua Destroyer. Jet Stingray, also known as Jet Stingren in Japan, is a Stingray-based member of the Repli Force, blah 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 blah. Dedicated to his military career, he worked his way up the ranks to become a member of the Repli Force's Navy. He had great respect for both General and Colonel, so when General announced his move for Reploid independence, there were no question to where his loyalties lay. When the coup began, as a diversion he attacked a city's underground power station, creating chaos to draw in the Maverick Hunters. His weakness is Frost Tower.
Or, as Zero is using, some Japanese name that I cannot pronounce, I just call it the Ice Stab. But the great thing about hitting him with the Ice Stab, or the Frost Tower, is that it completely freezes him, and it resets his attack pattern. It's easier to hit him while he's attacking with Frost Tower, as he's up here, but with Zero, you kind of have to wait till he goes down. But the thing is, because he swoops down in an arc, you're basically waiting for him to do his attack, come down, and then you have to jump onto him at the right time in order to hit him. Fortunately, Snake has just got him in the corner, basically, and that's probably the best way to approach this boss, I find.
Yeah, the move that Zero was using is, oh, here goes nothing, Hyuretsuzan.
Sure, you know what, your guess is as good as mine. Nicely done, Tom. I mean, Snake, sorry.
No, I'm just going to take credit for all of this, it's fine. No one will ever know. You got Heineken. Good stuff. Alright guys, that'll do it for this installment of Mega Man X4. Please join us next time, where I will take a perverse pleasure in taking credit for other people's work. Bye for now.